Now, my name is Dr. Paul Borosky, owner of Quality Business Plan, and for this video, what I'd like to do is to go over what's included in my beginner's guide to financial analysis. All right, so let's go ahead and jump right into it. The first section you're going to come into is going to be the table of contents, and the table of contents is just going to show you, well, just all the information or all the segments that are included in the beginner's guide, and the segments are going to include the income statement, the balance sheet, and then various financial ratios. And then from here, we're going to dive into the income statement. The income statement segment starts off with a summarized income statement of the target company that we are going to go ahead and review. So it just starts off with just a summarized income statement, the revenues, cost of goods, all the way down to our net profits. The next section in the income statement is going to then be, I'm going to discuss each important line item on the income statement. For example, I'll talk about revenues, then I'll go ahead and define that line item, and then I'll give you the definition in just layman's terms. And then finally, what I'll do is I will go ahead and give you some analysis tips that you can use to further explore or examine the specific company that you are purchasing the beginner's guide for. And then the next section is going to be our balance sheet. For the balance sheet segment, I again start off with a summarized balance sheet going from our cash, short-term investments, total assets into our liabilities, as well as our equity position. From there, I then go into, again, the important line items on the balance sheet. For example, I'll talk about cash, which is a very important line item. I'll give you the definition in layman's terms, and then I'll give you some analysis tips of how you can go ahead and analyze or examine that specific line item for the balance sheet. All right, next up is going to be the financial ratios. And for the financial ratio segment, this is a little bit different. I do break up the financial ratios into 4 different categories, which is going to be your liquidity ratios, asset ratios, profitability ratios, and then debt ratios. And then from there, what we'll do is once you get to the financial ratio section, what I do is I introduce each ratio in that section. For example, liquidity ratios, I'll tell you what the ratio is, the formula, and then I'll also go ahead and summarize the actual calculations for the ratio. So right here you have current ratio, and then we've got our formula, and then right here are the calculated results for the financial ratio. Then we also go into further details. And so an example of that would be for the current ratio. I'll explain to y'all what the current ratio is. I'll go ahead and provide y'all again with the formula. I'll explain the formula, and then I'll give you the formula and the definition in layman's terms. And then finally, I'll give you some analysis tips for that specific ratio, and then I'll give you the calculated results for that ratio for the company that you're examining for the last 5 years. All right, hopefully this information was helpful, so let's go ahead and wrap it up and sum it up. Hopefully this information was helpful with introducing my beginner's guide to financial analysis for the specific company that you're interested in. If you do buy the beginner's guide, keep in mind you do get a PDF file that the actual template that I use for the calculations, the Excel financial model, is not included in the purchase. And if you are interested in obtaining one of my company beginner's guides, just go to this link right here. All right, hopefully this information was helpful. If you liked the video, give me a like and subscribe. All right, thank you.